All right, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? I am the king ruler of post-traumatic hood disorder, where we are trying to heal the hood one podcast at a time. And today we're going to be talking about credit. Because let's face it, the hood needs healing from credit. For way too long, I think credit has received a bad name. From me working years in the car business, working years in the real estate business, I've seen it firsthand how we kind of get credit mixed up and the significance of having decent credit. Usually the only one who had good credit is Big Mama, right, in the hood. So we're going to talk to some specialists, some financial specialists in general, but specifically today, they do handle credit services. So we're going to talk to a few good people about their credit services called CIS Financial Services. And we want to get some tidbits on how we can help the hood heal from bad credit. In other words, rehab their credit, right? So today, I'm going to allow my guests first and foremost, I'm going to allow Veronique to introduce herself. And then I'll allow Coach Q to introduce herself. So Veronique, please let the people know a little bit about you and what you do, how you got into this. And let's try to do it like in about 90 seconds or something, get it out of elevator pitch so people can know who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Coach V, also known as Veronique McMillan. I am a financial specialist just came on this platform to be able to inform the individuals about credit, the importance of it, and how it can help change your life.
Yes. Appreciate you. You got good credit, by the way?
I do.
Just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. You got to walk the talk.
Yeah.
Coach Q, how about you?
So my name is Keisha. I'm Coach Q here with CIS Financial Services. Me and Veronique are business partners, and we are here to change the world when it comes to credit to help our culture get financially free.
Appreciate y'all for the work y'all doing.
I'm shizzle.
You like that, man? We definitely need this work in the hood. I told you I worked for years in the car business. I got so tired of seeing our people coming here thinking because they putting cash down, this is good credit. Like it was too much. So let's talk about a few things. I got a few hot buttons for y'all to push real quick. So let's start off with a hot button that's for real. Why do you think that the hood struggles with the concept of credit anyway? Like, why do you think that's such a thing in the hood primarily? I'll go to Coach V on that one first.
Well, I think it's really focused or not paid attention to is because it's not taught. Like you said, Big Mama might have good credit, but Big Mama may not have been able to pass down that education to her family members to provide them the information so that they can have the good credit as well. So for me, the fact that there's a lack of education on credit is the reason why a lot of the people in the hood are not previewed or not informed about having good credit and the importance of it.
Okay. Coach Q, if Big Mama couldn't give the information to pass it down or just wouldn't, whatever her issues were, where could someone go that's in the hood to get that education?
To CIS.
I like that.
CIS, we will educate you. So not only are we going to repair your credit, but we'll also give you the education that you need. And then, coming with repairing your credit also will drop your scores, right? So when you drop your scores, you're going to want to rebuild that. So we'll help you, we'll educate you, we'll repair, we'll rebuild, we'll do whatever it is that you want to do financially when it comes to your goals.
Okay. Let's talk about this next topic. This is a hot one. It's kind of two-sided, but this is a big one, especially since the pandemic and all of that stuff. But one of them has been a big one for the longest. I want to talk about repossessions versus evictions. Repossessions have been a thing in the hood for the longest, but because most of us buy cars before we buy houses, right? evictions are still a thing because, again, paying rent is a mandatory thing. But let's talk about this. How have you seen repossessions or evictions affect someone's credit ratings or scores? Like, does it drop it drastically? Does it prevent them heavily from their purchase power? Like, what do you guys see with that? Give us a brief synopsis. I'll go back to Coach Q on that one to start it out.
Everything. So you'll be affected by that in every way that you could possibly think of. Your APR is going to be higher. If you already had a previous repossession, you're going to pay, say you paid 18% when you got the first car because your credit was already low. Well, now that you have this repossession and you want to get another car, it's possible, but you're going to pay an even higher APR. Not only that, you might have to pay a higher down payment, which technically you're not even supposed to be paying cash for a down payment, but because they're uneducated and don't know, we'll offer a bigger down payment because we have this repossession, we're desperate, we need this car, so on and so forth. As far as the eviction, so the eviction will be the same way. You're going to have to pay a double deposit. If they let you, you're going to have to live somewhere you don't really want to live to try to rebuild that history in the beginning. So with those two things on your credit, it can potentially drop your credit score from 50 to 100 points. It just really depends on like where you got the car from, if it's a name brand dealership, and who or what is reporting on your eviction. If it's an apartment complex, if it's a higher paying apartment complex, if it's a house, it just all really depends.
Coach Q, real quick. What's the recovery time on that? Is it like a long recovery time, particularly on evictions? Because a lot of people have been evicted or getting evicted since this COVID-19 situation. How long does that actually stay on one's credit to affect them in that way? Do you know?
I would say 90 days, but it really just depends on who's reporting it because every creditor is different. But because we tack it so aggressively, it can come off. Coach V, how fast? I saw it come off in little as 2 months. But it just depends on your credit file, who it is. Like if you really mess those apartment people up or whatever the case is. But I've seen 2 months, even for repossession. Like I have plenty of papers that show GM Financial was deleted. Like it just really depends on who you get with and how aggressively they attack it.
So the apartment people are more powerful than GM?
Yeah.
That's incredible. But how long, let's say they didn't find you guys. They don't know nothing about credit cleaning. They haven't seen CIS, unfortunately, yet. How long would that stay on their credit, Coach V?
7 years.
7 years?
Yes. Yep.
Is that like an automatic fall off, or is it something you got to do to get it removed?
Not necessarily automatic fall off. But it's stated in law that it's about 7 years.
Alrighty. Speaking of that, if it stays on your credit, a lot of people like to just say, I'm going to throw in the towel and do the whole BK move. Right? I'm going to throw up the B on y'all. No affiliation. All right, no, this is hood shit. But none of that. You see the blue shirt. Anyway, so do you guys feel like it's best to file a BK if you are in those situations, or just
please don't file a BK? Please do not. I repeat, please do not file a BK. Get your credit repaired. Please don't file a BK. There's multiple ways around this. Whether you just say I'm throwing in the towel, I'm going to file BK. Don't. Please.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Now, why do you say don't do it?
Multiple reasons.
Yeah, it just puts you in a different position in regards to getting approvals. Like once you get a BK, you have to wait 2 years before you can, do different things with your credit. Like it just puts you in a worse position, and then you'll be coming back to a credit repair specialist, asking them to have that removed off your credit report.
The BK?
Because the BK still stays there, and then sometimes they don't even remove those accounts. Those accounts are there still, as well as the BK. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you'll be spending money on getting the BK, and then you'll come right back around and like, oh dang, I need to get this off my credit. Let me find somebody to help me get this off my credit. Then there'll be more money that you'll be putting out. So again, don't go the BK route. Come get your credit risk restored. We come get educated on the information. That way you'll know, and just understand that this is not a speedy process. This process takes time. So people go the BK route because they want something fast and quick. But at the end, they are still messing up their situation and costing them more money. So, going the route of restoring your credit does take time. You have to be patient. And on our end, we have to be consistent with sending out, information or attacking different things on the credit report.
Okay. Because I've did the BK before, probably about 12 years ago. about 12 years ago. And I watched my father do it. He did it twice.
Okay.
And he came back, and I watched him, and each time he did it, he somehow got a car and a house within 2 years. I didn't know what he did. He didn't ever tell me what he did, but I just saw him do it. It does affect your credit to certain things because, again, it's like you've taken down these banks, and these banks don't trust you no longer, right? So, of course, they're not going to be prone to want to throw money your direction if you already taken them down. And then the other ones are going to look at it the same. But the one thing I will say, though, because I used to work in the finance department in the car business, is that depending on who you took down, if your bankruptcy is discharged, they will throw money because they know you can't file for another 7 years. But the money they throw will be at a high rate. That is for sure a situation going to happen, right? So it's a pickle. People got to choose. But I guess you all are saying that it is best to clean it because it's less expensive in the long run, credit-wise. Because let's be honest, the interest rates are what's the most expensive part of this thing that you're going to pay technically. Because the more the interest rate is and the longer the term, you're going to probably pay double what you paid on the principal in the beginning versus if you had Big Mama's A1 credit.
That's right. You talking
right?
Spicy. Yep, that's right.
Right. So, yeah, I used to do some stuff with this back in the days. But speaking of that, my last question I want to ask y'all, and then I want y'all to get into a little bit more what y'all do. What are some of the best ways for someone that's, coming out of these credit challenges to boost their credit? Like, what are some of the best ways to raise their score in the interim? So if they're in between, they don't know what to do. Maybe they don't need a whole lot of credit. They may not even have a lot of credit. You know what I mean? Like, what's some of the ways that they can boost their credit quickly, or the best ways, period?
Getting credit builders. There's different type of accounts that you can have added to the credit report to help build it up. Because it takes like 4 to 6 positive accounts to get you to at least a 700 credit score, and that's accounts that you're paying on monthly. And then 6 to 10 to get you at least to the 800. So having that positivity reporting while the credit is being repaired can help build up, because while the credit is being repaired, sometimes you may lose points because items will be removed based off of, if it's a credit history, if items been on your credit report for a long period of time, and then they get removed because they are holding some a negative account on the report, you can lose some points there. So, but if you have that positive account reporting, it can help kind of keep, your score, at a level to where it's not taking a major plummet once those accounts are being removed. Excuse me.
Are there any, like, I'm going to go to Coach Q. Are there any, because there's things going around now, like this new thing and that's come out not too long ago where you can get points on your credit score for reporting your rent.
I would say that's a good thing to do, is to report your rent, but find the one that reports your rent to all three. Because subprime, it helps subprime people, so it could potentially give you 30 to 45 points just by reporting your rent. You're going to pay it anyway monthly, so why not get some credit for it? So you need to find one that boosts, that'll boost you in that report to all three. And as far as I saw, it's boom.com reports to all three.
You said boom.com?
Yes. What is it? BoomPay?
BoomPay. Yeah, BoomPay.
BoomPay. BoomPay.com.
BoomPay.com. So basically, pay your bills on time and report your rent.
Yeah, I mean, and people, not too many people are not paying that rent on time. So, because, if you're paying rent, that means, you need a place to stay. You need to have a roof over your head. So people are paying that. So, of course, why not? I mean, like, eviction will go on the report. Any negative will go on the report. Why not, add that positive history to the report?
And they'll backdate it 12 to 24 months if you pay a few extra dollars. So they can potentially give you 2 years history of that. And they don't report any bad. They'll always report everything that's good.
That's dope. Okay. I want to ask y'all this, because I heard this from a guy. I was in a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and this financial advisor guy says that if you have a bank account, that you can go to the bank and ask them to clean up your credit. Have y'all heard of that?
Oh, look, I'm looking at you.
Was he buying a house?
This guy is like a multi-millionaire. Like, he owns private jets and all kind of stuff. He's not cash poor, nothing of the above.
No.
But he came to a presentation where he was speaking to some brothers in the room to teach them about financial literacy. And he said something about, you can go to your local, even if it's Wells Fargo, whoever, go in there and talk to them and ask them to clean your credit. Have y'all heard of
that? How would they?
Well, his explanation was that they're in the finance business. And if you ask them, they would have to help you.
No, as far as I know,
I can see them referring. Yeah, they could probably refer you.
But they wouldn't fix it, right?
No, there's no way. They don't have the capacity to do that. Like, they're not sending out Metro 2 letters. They're not going to dig deep into your credit report. They're not going to do that. Like, come on, let's be for real. No.
I just want to debunk a lot of these myths that's floating around in the hood.
I mean, there's plenty of myths. I'm like, what in the heck?
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. That's a new one. I've never heard that one before.
That's shizzle.
And that's why credit repair has such a bad name, because of all the bull crap that goes on.
Well, everybody, I want y'all to listen to them, because I can't express enough how good it feels to walk into the dealership and know that you're walking out with the best rate possible, right? You ain't got to put this money down. You ain't got to cough up all this money so you can kind of drop your payments low as possible, because your rate is already good.
Right? Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and you're protected under consumer law, that you are not supposed to. By consumer law, if you want to dig into it, you are not supposed to pay a cash down payment to any car lot for any car.
Even if you want to drop the payment?
Yeah. Even if you want to drop the payment.
Because if your credit is good, you can drop the payment just with your words, and they see your report, your profile. They're going to give you whatever you like because they want to get your business. They want to be able to get your business. I've done it. Oh no, I don't want that payment. I want, okay, Miss McMillan, whatever you like, here you go.
Yeah. And that usually requires them losing a lot of money on the car. For the most part. I mean, I told you I did car business for 10 years.
Right. And because you said that, I kind of wanted to pick your brain, let the people know, like, that side of things in regards to, purchasing a car. Like, is it a must, or, like, where is that down payment really going towards bringing down the monthly? Because what I've researched, the down payment and there's two different entities. There's your bank, who's approving you for that loan, and then it's the dealership. So if you can elaborate more on that part, that would be amazing.
Well, in a nutshell, the dealership is just on the hook for the principal because they own the car. All right. So they're basically no different than a house. They're going to take that house or that car, and they're going to sell it on the open market to somebody to finance this profile. So that profile buyer is going to buy that paper at a particular rate. They call it a buy rate in the car business. And that buy rate is like a wholesale rate that the dealership gets. Now, watch this. This is where it gets tricky. That dealership has the right to raise above the buy rate, not as they see fit, but as according to the person's credit. Mm-hmm. Right? So if you walk into a dealership and you get a pencil, we call it a pencil, right? That piece of paper they bring out when they show you what your payment is, down payment, all that, the first pencil. When you get that first pencil, your first question should be, what's the buy rate? And then they probably going to, do the Hollywood shuffle on you and not want to answer the question. But again, the buy rate is what you're buying, because technically they don't have you financed yet, because you're just now filling paperwork out and they're going off of what their matrix says. But right. The buy rate is where it starts. And basically, if you have bad credit, they're going to go above that for sure. Especially, I want to say this, on camera. And that's because they go for minorities, the worst in the car business. And that's why I left it. I saw how they got a kick out of what they call burying people, right? Burying means that you have good credit, but since you don't know what your credit is supposed to be, I'm going to give you a credit. I'm going to give you a rating like you have a 520.
That's horrible.
And you're going to pay double for this. And by the time you try to get out of this car, you're going to be so buried in it that nobody wants to buy it back from you.
That's horrible.
So that was kind of one of my reasons why I got out of it. It was very lucrative for a while, but at the same time, I just couldn't take it. Like, I couldn't do it no more. But you're right. All of this stuff is based upon your credit. It's based upon how you pay people versus how people that you want to give you money will lend you their money to pay them.
Exactly.
If you don't pay people back, then they're going to slap you with a credit rating that you're not going to like, and you're going to wind up wanting to put money down. Now, the money down thing does go towards the overall. So what they do is they call it buying down the principal. No, buying down the interest rate. Because math is math. If you take 20,000 divided by 60 months. By 60 months and 0%, you're going to get a particular number, right? So anything above that interest rate, that 0% interest rate, is what you're paying in interest. And if you want to put money down, it would lower the monthly payment, because they say every $1,000 is like $20 or something a month.
I thought it was every 1,020.
Yeah. So some people, they're more worried about their monthly payment versus
the overall.
All right. So the principal, the car business, I mean, the dealership don't really care. They just selling the car. They're going to get the rate at the buy rate that they're going to get it at, and whatever they sell it over to in the finance department, when you go in that office and sign a contract, his job is to upsell you on that interest rate to hold the money for the dealership. So they're going to get the money that they supposedly make, which is probably not much these days because everybody's losing money on cars. But they're supposed to get the money from the car, and then the finance man is supposed to bury you on the back end with the rate to save the money for the dealership all the way around. That's the hustle in a nutshell. But
the scammers.
But if you got good credit, like she said, like Ida said, like Veronique said, you walk in there, you tell them what you want. They are not letting you leave.
No.
Like, they are not letting you leave. And you know why they're not going to let you leave? Because every car on that lot has to be sold. If they don't sell that car within 90 days, they start paying a premium from the DMV on it every month. So they got to get rid of it. But if you got good credit, they're going to want you to take that car. So now, yes, that's an education on the car business I didn't expect to give today, but I'm glad I did. It's time for my favorite part of this day.
Uh-oh. How deep is your hood? Okay, who we got?
So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. It's going to be like a versus battle, right? And I just want to see which one you lean towards to the most. just to detect how deep is your hood. You might have good credit but love fried chicken. I don't know. It might be a thing. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start with roll the dice. I'm gonna start with Coach Q. First one we got lease. I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Lease or rent that apartment?
Lease.
Okay. Veronique?
Oh, you want to answer the same question?
Same
Lease.
question. Lease. Okay. They work together for sure. All right. All right, Big Mama. Do you cash or finance? Do you pay cash for it and get your A1 credit up? Or do you finance it and get your A1 credit up?
Finance.
I just want to debunk these myths out here that if you walk into a dealership and put cash down, like they're gonna give it to you because you're paying cash. Like that's not real.
Not at all.
Not
They're still
real.
gonna say, that's good, but can we see your credit score?
Exactly. All right. It's gonna get funner now. Coach V. Kool-Aid or lemonade?
I'm a hood girl, so I'm gonna go with Kool-Aid.
Oh, I knew it was coming by somebody. Which one? Grape?
So I like to mix mine with lemonade.
Oh, she got the suicide punch. All right.
Yeah. I suicide everything.
All right. Coach Q, same question.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, we got some hood, good credit people here. Okay. All right. So let's imagine this. You just bought your new whip. You got your A1 credit. You got your best credit score. Rating you can possibly get. Told them how you wanted your payments, and you pulled off. Are we going to leave that car stock? Or are we putting rims on it? We putting spinners, 20-folds on it? What are we doing with it?
No, I'm stocking it. I'm keeping it just the way it is.
Keeping it stock? Stock.
I don't need no spinners.
Well, I was just elaborating with the spinners. But
I know.
You could get some chrome on there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Last one. This is really going to get y'all.
Okay, let's see.
Wait, here she comes. So, last one. Fried or baked? Do you want it fried or baked?
I would like mine's extra crispy, please. Please and thank you.
Hey, so
Extra dead.
I'm gonna have to say baked, man.
Good job, Q.
Good job.
Baked.
That's good.
Good job.
That's good.
She's down here going to have good credit and can't live to spend the shit.
Yeah, I don't want my arteries clogged.
She got fried chicken and Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my partner away from that.
This is my favorite part of the situation because it always brings the laughs. But I appreciate y'all for joining me. Well, anybody y'all get, I will let them know.
Yes, send them our way.
We'll send them
Appreciate it.
And we will continually build. All right, y'all?
All right.
Thank you.